Hi everyone, and welcome back to another episode in our quest system series. In this episode we're going to carry on what we started previously, and that is accepting quests and displaying them on the screen. So last time we got to this point where we accepted the quest and we added it to our quest log. Now we just need to make the rest of the functionality for the quest log. So that includes making a quest active and making a quest show its details on the right hand side of our quest log. And that active quest will then hopefully go on to show the objectives in the top right hand corner of our main play screen. So first things we need to do is tell the game, as you can see here, to take away control from the player and focus it onto the quest log. Okay, now we've already done this with this quest dialog here, so we're going to do exactly the same code we've done here to the quest log. So let's go into our quest log UI and into our quest UI as well. And what we're going to do is we're going to copy and paste a lot of this stuff going on here. So I'm going to get the get player controller, set input mode and show cursor. I'm going to copy all that and go into our quest log UI. And where we've got the construct, we're going to disconnect it at the front and paste it in between. It's doing exactly what we want it to do on the other one, so we just copy and paste it. Totally can do that, it's not an issue. And then when we've closed this, we want to make it so we can close it with the X key. So we're going to click on this X button here and scroll down and do on clicked. And when we do on clicked, we are going to do exactly what we've done with the quest UI and remove from widget, remove from parent, sorry, set the input mode back and redisplay the cursor. Okay, so it's exactly the same stuff going on there. So once we've got that, let's test that out. And if I click Q, sorry, you can see I've got mouse control. I can't move my character. If I hit the X key, to close the window, I've got control back. Okay, so that's exactly what I want it to do. So when we interact with the player, we click accept. We hit Q to show our quest log, and you can see we've got the button here for the Humble Beginnings quest, but I want to be able to click on it, show details here, and make it an active quest. So I'm going to first of all create the active quest part. So we've got quest log entry UI, which is the entry of the quest in the quest log, and what we're going to do is we're going to change this border panel that we just used last time. We're going to make a special kind of slate brush, a type of brush that makes it look active. So I've already made a border, very simple yellow border, and we're going to make a slate brush which turns that into an actual usable border. So I'm going to right click in here and go user interface slate brush. And in there, I'm going to set, well, first of all, let's call it active, let's call it slate underscore active. And in here, I'm going to put the image I've got, border, and I'm going to set its margins in the border settings. So click on border here. If you don't know how to use the border settings on the on here or in this widget here, I'll make another video that explains it a lot more depth. But essentially, it repeats pixels in a length and height, and you tell it what percentage of this image is going to be used for the border. So my left, I'm going to do 0. Or actually, just do it all here, 0.33. And click save. That means it'll do a third back into what we call a 9 slice. Okay, so but I'm going to do a big video on that, so don't worry too much about that. Okay, so this has got a slate for active. I'm going to do a slate for inactive too, so I'm going to duplicate that. Slate underscore inactive. And this one's going to differ because I'm going to change it from draw as border to draw as none. And click save. So we've got these two slates And a slate is basically a appearance. So what's it going to look like? Okay. So these are two appearance settings that we're going to swap between on our quest entry. So I'm going to go to my quest log entry UI that we made last episode. I'm going to click on the border, and on the right hand side I'm going to, where I see brush and you see bind, we're going to click on the bind button and click create binding. And we're going to get a new function appear. So this function is going to return out a slate brush structure. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to set what slate I want it to be. So I'm going to go to the variables here and click plus variable. I'm going to type in active slate, and I'm going to make another one called inactive slate. And you can have as many of these as you want. So, for example, if you've got a quest that's invalid or out leveled or something like that, we can make another slate which handles all that appearance and just put it on here instead. But let's just do these for now. So active, we're going to compile it. So we've got the choice down here. Active slate, we're going to choose slate active, and inactive, we're going to choose slate inactive. Click compile. And now we're going to do the return node here. So what I want to do is I want to determine whether or not this is an active quest. If it is an active quest, we want it to change its color, change its border color. So to find out if it's an active quest or not, that's actually stored in our quest log component as a variable which we set up previously. So in my quest log entry UI, I'm going to get the player character, and from there I'm going to cast to the player character. The reason I want to cast is because I want to access a particular component of that character blueprint, which in this case is the quest log. So I can go get quest log, and then from there I can get the active quest. Now I can now test whether this active quest is the same as the quest this one belongs to. So I'm going to drag the quest variable that we already got out and choose get, and simply just do equal object to both of these. Now I'll test whether or not these are the same. This will spit out a boolean, true or false. Make a branch and connect that up to your cast like so. So now we're getting what the active quest is from the player, and find out if it's the same as this quest here. If it is the same, we're going to do a different return node to a false. So we need two return nodes, so copy and paste a second return node. And from here we're going to get the active slate, and that's going to go into the true branch. So to get this hooked up like so, this is just a reference, so we need to get this and get the brush, or make brush, sorry, from asset. There goes to true, and we'll do exactly the same but for inactive. Make brush and plug it in like so. Click compile. So now that border will change based on this binding and based on whether or not this quest is active. So this will change its appearance based on what quest is active at the current moment. So now we need to actually make it active. So when I click on this button, I want to make it so when I click on it, it makes it active in the quest log. So when button 0, I'm going to scroll down right down here and click on clicked and choose the little green plus sign. And on clicked, we're going to do what we just done. We're going to get the player character, and then from there cast to third person character, and as third person character get the quest log, and then from there the active quest. So I'm going to set the active quest to be this quest. So drag the quest variable out and plug it in. So when we click on this, this changes the active quest. Click compile, and we're done here. Okay, so now when we click on the button or click on the quest log entry, it will make this quest active, and it should then show a nice yellow golden border. So let's just test that out. So I interact with the NPC, accept the quest, click on it, and there you can see the border now appears. And if I had another quest here, I can click on it and it will switch over to the different quests. Okay? And if I, well, let's just do it again. So no quest, E to interact, accept, and click on Humble Beginnings, we get the active. If I close this and open it up, you'll see it's still active because it's calling from that component. Okay, with that done, the next trick is to get it to display the objectives and the details in the quest log. So in the quest log, quest log UI, we've got this panel here set up to show the details of that quest. So this is going to be containing some more information. So if I go into here, and this is a vertical box already, I'm just going to do a quick and ugly version. I'm going to go drag some text in here, and that's going to be the name of it, and drag another text in here, that'll be the description of it, and then we're going to drag the objectives in here. So the objectives, if we go back to our quest UI, we did this before with the objective list. Okay, and the graph here over here, where is it? For each. Okay, so this bit here, we've got the objectives being built onto the list. We're just going to copy and paste all of this over to our quest log. So on here, on the event construct, right at the end, we got the completed. That's going to go down to us for each loop. And the quest we need to get rid of and put in this quest over here. Oh, sorry, get the active quest. Have we got that already? No. Okay, let's get the active quest in. Get player character. And cast that to the third person character. We can then get the quest log and get active quest. That connects to that target there. So we just need to hook that up to that for each loop there, and this completed then goes to this cast here. Let's just sort this out, make it nice and neat. Okay, so once this is finished building the main part, this will then go on and building the objectives of the active quest. So this will build, if the active, get the active quest from the third person character, and then build all the objectives into that list based on this for each loop here. So we've got the objective list. We need to get that objective list to display like we had in our quest log. So our quest log, it's a lot of quests. I'm saying quest a lot, sorry. This objective list here is a scroll box, so we're going to put that in here too. So in my designer of my quest log UI, we're going to drag another scroll box, and we'll put that in between these two text blocks here. So there's a text field here. This text field here in the scroll box is going to be a variable, and I'll call that objective list. Compile and click on back on the graph. So I've made that an a variable, so I can now drag that objective list out here to get, and then from there I can add a child to it. And the child is this return value, like so. So there's nothing new here. This is the same stuff we've done in the previous episode. So if you followed that, you should know no issues here. all we're doing is just getting the objectives, and then for each one just adding them to this scroll box. Click compile, and I think that is it. Oh, we've got to actually bind it. So we've got these two text blocks. We're now going to bind these to the active quest. So it's actually quite a good idea. Once we've got this cast of third-person character and we've got the active quest, it'd be best if we actually promote this to a variable. So promote that there like so. And I'll name this one active quest. Now the reason why it's good to promote that is because in the designer I can then click on the text blocks and bind these to the active quest here and go name. And this one's going to be description. Click compile, and let's go back into the game. So nothing here because I've got no quest selected, but if I go in here, accept, and click on here, it's still not showing it. Okay, so there was an error there. The error was that when I'm opening it up, notice how this is the error. I'll show you. So if I click on the quest to accept it in queue, I click on it but nothing changes. That's because the code we just made was on the construct, not on the quest log. So if I close that and reopen it, you can see it's now showing up here. Granted, it hasn't wrapped yet, we need to make it wrap, but we also get some errors come up here. Now the errors refer to this quest log UI because it is trying to add an active quest here, but this thing isn't true. It doesn't have an active quest until you click on it. So we're going to come off there, and we're going to is not equal to, and then put that to a branch. So this will only carry on if this is not empty. So if it's not empty, it will carry on with the rest of the code. So first of all, let's just check to see if that is actually fixing that error. So if I open it, close it, you see no more errors turn up. So the next job is to make this actively change based on what is going on. So for example, this is on the construct, so this won't actually run unless we close it and reopen it. So instead of doing that, we need to actually make it show or rerun this construct, or make it run a new function. So let's make this a new function. So I'm going to make a new custom event, and that's going to be active quest changed. And I'm going to disconnect that there and simply just plug it into that instead. Okay, so with that made, we now need to call it, and we're going to call it in two places. First of all, we're going to call it from that completed that we just took it from. So I'm going to go active quest changed. And the second place we need to call it is where we click on this entry UI. We click on this. So once after this, we need to call that event. However, that event is on the quest log UI. So we need to get access to that quest log UI, and we fortunately already have access to it, and it's in our third person character. You can see when we made it, we set it as a variable which we can access from our third person character. So on my quest log entry UI, I'm going to get the, actually we've already got that here, we've got as third person character, we just drag from there, get quest log UI, like so. And from there, we can call the active quest changed event. Click compile. The next job is to make it so it wraps that text. So in my designer for my quest log, down here, I'm going to click on this text block here, and I'm going to make this fit the size of this vertical box here. So I can do auto wrap if I wanted to. Alternatively, I could, yeah, we could do that. Let's do that. Let's just tick auto for now. Make it nice and quick and easy. Where is it? There you go. Auto text wrap. Compile. Then go back to your game. Push play. And now, when we click on our character accept. It's in the quest log. Click on here, and now it shows up over here. So if you've got like images or a map you want to show where the location is, you can do that on here too. Okay. So with that done, the next job is get to display the objectives in the top right hand corner. So that is going to be another widget. Lots of widgets in this thing. It's a very visual system. So over here in my quest UI, I make a new widget. Go user interface, widget blueprint, objective underscore UI, objectives. And this thing is going to have a list of the various objectives that we're going to have. So I'm going to get rid of the canvas panel. Just put in a size box. And the size box, I'm going to give it a width override of, let's say 300. And I'm going to change it to desired. So nothing new here, same stuff we've seen before. And in here we're going to have some text. So the text here is going to have two parts. So the first part is going to be there, and another part is going to be in a horizontal, a horizontal box for these two text blocks. So let's get rid of that one. Let's put horizontal first, or in. There we go, and now text. Because we want to display them next to each other. And the reason why I'm doing two is because this one's going to display whether or not it's complete or not. So this will show complete or not complete, and this one's going to actually show the objective text itself. So I'm going to make these left aligned, both of these, and I'm going to go into the graph here, and on the event construct I'm going to get the player character, cast to the third person character to get access to my variables, such as my quest log component. Get the quest log, and then from there I can get the active quest. Again, I want to make sure that I've got actually something there, so I'm going to do equal, test to see if it's blank or not. Let's make that not equal to, rather. So, not equal to, go into the condition of that branch there. So if my active quest is not empty, it's going to carry on and display some text. So with the active quest there, I can drag this out and get the objectives, like so. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to store this as a variable, promote to variable. True. And let's save that as objectives. So this is going to be the objectives UI, so it's going to show multiple objectives. But what I want to actually do is make a separate UL widget which will duplicate multiple objectives in a list. So what I'm going to do actually is I'm going to get rid of my text values here and here. So let's get rid of these and this, and let's turn that horizontal box with a vertical box instead, because it's going to show a list. Click compile. Then I'm going to make another widget which is going to be single objective UI, and this thing is going to show a horizontal box. Horizontal box. Let's get rid of the canvas panel. Horizontal box, and then there those two text components, like so. So I'm just going to left align them, like so. And in the graph, I'm going to set a variable such as objective description, and is complete. Okay. Alternatively, what I could also do instead is actually, that might be better if I just get this and just type in objective and make the variable type the objective data type we made. Click compile, go to the designer, and this thing will bind this to a the is complete value, but the second one we can bind to the objective description. So on this block here, the first block, which is going to say success or no success, I'm going to go bind, create binding. And for this one, I'm going to do a branch, because there's going to be two different types of values for this. So if it's true, it's going to be one thing. If it's false, it's going to be another thing. So from there, I can get the objective I want here, get objective, split it, and plugin is complete to the branch. And the return value here is going to be, if it's true, complete, incomplete. Bind, compile, and that's it. That is now bound to that text field there. So that will show complete or incomplete based on what this objective is. So of that objective variable, we need to make it public so other things can see it, and also to expose it on spawn. This allows us to set it when we create it. So in Objectives UI, where we're going to make the list of them, this objective array here, I'm going to go for each. And this is a now objective data structure, which means I can create a widget, select the single objective UI from the list, plug in my objective from the array element, and then I'm going to add this to this vertical box. To do that, I need to make it a variable. So I'm going to do a list here. And you can see now it appears in my variable list. Choose get list, add child, and the content, go to the return value like so. Click compile, and that should do it. The next job is to make it actually show this objective UI on the front of the HUD. So for that, I'm going to open up my main HUD UI, and my user created section. You'll see objective UI is in there. I'm going to drag that out, and I'm going to place it at the top here. So with that now done, we now need to be able to call this event from elsewhere too, because when we click on a new request or change the request, we need to change this in real time as well. So this doesn't need to connect to a construct. We need to create a custom event, and that's going to be update objectives, like so. And on the construct, I can do that event there. So now when I click on anything, I want to be able to tell it to update the objectives here. So when I click on my quest log entry UI, I want this to change and update that quest log, that objective list, sorry. Now the objective list is found on the HUD, so let's get the HUD. So the HUD is found on the game mode. That's what we had set before. So we're going to go game mode, get game mode, and cast to third person game mode. And then from there, we can get the HUD widget. And then from there, we want to be able to get the objectives UI. And from that, we can finally update the objectives. Click compile, go back to your game. So no objectives are set yet, so it won't show. Accept it, go into your quest log, and now you can see it now displays the quest's information. Excellent. Last thing I need to do is change it so it's not left aligned but right aligned, because obviously it's on the right hand side of the screen. So let's quickly easily fix that. So go single objective designer. So we just need to make it right aligned for both of these. And then in objective UI, we're going to make that pin it to the left. So it'll drag it out. So if I go to my HUD, it'll drag it to this furthest edge, but it'll pin it to the right. Align it to the right, sorry. Click play. Accept. There you go. So that's it. So in the next episode, we're going to start beginning to do the objective stuff. So where you can make it so you can complete objectives, starting off with a location objective. So we'll make it so that reach the Elven Ruins is completed, and it will trigger and complete the quest objective. If you've liked this video and want to see more, and we'll see that next episode right now, head over to Patreon and support me just like these people have. For at least $1 a month, you can get access to all new videos, early access, and exclusive, and help me out a massive amount too. If you have any questions or comments, you want to leave a comment below. If you have any requests, even leave a comment below as well. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.